Let's draw crystals with Ms. Boley. Why are we doing this? Well, we're trying to practice drawing natural forms and structures. An example of a natural form or structure is what we see in crystals. We're also linking our learning about rocks and minerals in science to what we are drawing. So some words that I'll be using in the video to talk about different lines and the different directions that they go in are here on the screen. So we have diagonal right over here, and then vertical, which is straight up and down, and horizontal, side to side. What we will need is our visual journal or a sheet of paper. We'll need a pencil, maybe an eraser. I'm using a Sharpie marker in the video so you can see what I'm drawing, but that is optional. You can use a pencil to draw and then go over it with marker later, or just not use marker at all. And then we're using some pencil crayon colors, and you may also choose to use your watercolor paints. I will show both options, but you don't need to use the watercolor paints if you don't have them yet or you just don't want to. So we'll get started. So I'm going to show the steps on the bottom of the screen so you can pause the video at any time. So I'm going to draw two diagonal lines, like a triangle with no bottom, and then two vertical lines coming down, and then two more diagonal lines. So it's kind of like a little point at the bottom and the top. And then I'm going to draw the same shape in the inside, just a little bit smaller. There we go. And then I will use vertical lines to connect that inner shape to the outer shape, and then do the same at every corner, every point. And that is our very first gem. It looks awesome. All right, our next one, it's gonna start out with the same base shape. So I'm just gonna make it a bit bigger. So two diagonal lines, two vertical lines, and two more diagonal lines. And notice my lines are not perfectly vertical, they're not perfectly straight, and that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a line with kind of like a V shape going down, and then another horizontal line. I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to make the V shape upside down, so it's pointing upwards towards that other V. And then I will connect them with a vertical line. Connect the points. And then I'll connect using a diagonal line up there and repeat that on the bottom. And there we go. That's our second gem. Okay, so this one starts with the same type of top, so an upside down V. So I'm going to do a dot there so I know where to connect my two lines, making a pointy diamond type shape. And then same type of shape there, so horizontal line in the middle, and then diagonal to those corners. And then connect using diagonal lines and repeat on the bottom, just going all the way down. Here we go. Okay, so this one we're starting it with a long horizontal line with two diagonal shorter lines coming down. And then again, we'll do that dot in the middle to show where to connect. So go down and then up, so we get that kind of shape. And we'll do a horizontal line to connect those 2 points. And then I'm gonna do 2 dots, so not quite in the middle, sort of offset from the middle. And then I'll do 2 diagonal lines going down. And I'm gonna do kind of like a zigzag line, so down, up, like that. And if yours was not exactly the same, that is all good. Okay, this one is kind of a bit of an irregular shaped one. These other ones are all very symmetrical, and this one is going to be more of a free form. So we're going to do a horizontal line and a diagonal line, but not exactly the same lengths this time. And then diagonal, horizontal, diagonal, and then kind of vertical. So we're making just an irregular type of shape, and then I'm going to go and use straight lines to connect some of the different points. And if I've already connected some, then I'll have to stop my line. So I'm just finding the points that don't have any lines connecting them yet and just going from there. So you can try to do exactly what's pictured, or you can just do what I did and just kind of free form draw your crystal. All right, and our very last one, and it's our most complicated one. So similar top, so a triangle with no bottom, and then we'll do that vertical line and another diagonal, but we won't finish up that shape on the other side over there. We'll start doing another small one down here, so that V shape, upside down V shape, 2 horizontal lines, and then just kind of connect that bottom shape off. It doesn't need to be exactly the same. These can be a little bit irregular as well. So that's my outside shape, and then I'll fill in the different facets, I guess, on the inside. So horizontal and 2 diagonal lines, and then 2 more diagonal lines to make that pointy top. And then instead of doing 2 vertical lines all the way down, I'm gonna do diagonal lines like that and see how it looks. And then I'll do 2 diagonal lines, like kind of like a wide V with a line down. And then just kind of do something similar on that other crystal, just a bit more free form, kind of whatever you feel like. And I'm using straight lines, not curvy lines or anything like that for all of these. Okay, I'm back and I'm adding some color. So I'm not gonna color the whole thing. You can kind of use those images to get some ideas for how to color, but I'm just coloring in sort of the sides, and I'm leaving some white spaces, and I'm not pressing very hard in some of the different sections. Some of them I'm doing them very dark, and some of them I'm doing them lighter, and some of them I'm just leaving white completely. Another technique you can do that I'm speeding up here is you can color the whole thing in a lighter color, and then you can layer a darker color in certain areas, and then another darker color or another different color in certain areas as well, like you see here. And then finally, if you are wanting to try out your watercolor paints, so what you do with those is I've dipped my brush into water, and then I just dipped it into the paint, and I'm just trying them out. So you can use paint, or you can just use plain water with some paint on the paper there. And I do want to try to leave like certain areas, like I did with the purple with my pencil crayon, leave certain areas white, the white of the paper, to sort of show the reflecting light off of the crystals. So that's how come I took my paper towel. You can actually use your paper towel to lift up some of the watercolor paints. So we've Many of us have probably never used watercolors or haven't used them very much. So this is just kind of some time to play around with them and see how you like them. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see all the awesome crystals that you draw.